Hi, I'm Tracy from Dan and Tracy Take a Detour. If you're new, welcome to the channel. I just wanted to sit down with you guys and explain why we decided on house sitting. So I guess I have to go back to when Dan and I got married. We got married in November of 2015 and we didn't live together before we got married. So once we got married and moved in, we had a lot of furniture to buy. We bought a new couch, we bought TV, an entertainment center, kitchen table and chairs, a new bed, nightstands, lamps, like everything that you would need besides like kitchen stuff and things like that that we already had. But it was really fun. I love decorating, and that's the best part about moving, I think, is being able to make a place your home. But anyways, back to my point. About a month after we moved in and had everything set up, I saw an article on Facebook, a couple called Round the World Couple, and they had just gotten married and they quit their jobs, sold everything that they had, and they were going to travel around the world for a whole year. How amazing is that? I was insanely jealous immediately. Dan and I traveled a lot, but definitely not like that. And I immediately started to think, like, how could we make that work? What do we have to do in order to do that? Like, the wheels were just turning and turning. And the reality hit me that, we just invested all of this money into all this furniture for this place. We just got settled. We had a lease for 2 years at our place. We had student loans that we had to pay, stupid amount of student loans to pay every month. And it just seemed too out of reach for us. Like, I didn't think we could make that happen for us. All of these thoughts were just depressing, to be honest with you. Now, granted, this couple did plan this like years in advance, so they had been saving for it, they had been prepared. I didn't want to wait, I didn't want to plan for 2 years in advance, I just wanted to do something really cool like that right now. So I told Dan about this awesome idea that this couple had, and he started to get curious too. So he went online and did his own research, and he started showing me these videos on YouTube, particularly a young couple named Josh and Kaylee. They are from The Freedom Theory, and they are full-time RVers. So instead of like purchasing a house, they purchased a truck and a fifth wheel, and he works from home, and they just travel the US in their fifth wheel and kind of go from stop to stop and see the country. So we thought about doing that too, but our big thing was we didn't want to add monthly payments to what we already had. However, that is cheaper than buying a home and having a mortgage payment. It's just less debt than buying a home would be. But then Dan stumbled upon house sitting. We had actually been house sitting already throughout our 18-month engagement for family, friends, and neighbors while we were living at our parents' homes. It was kind of a getaway for us, and we really liked it. But we had that 2-year lease on our place, so we just felt like maybe this was just kind of a dream for the future type of thing. Then in February, which was only 3 months after we got married, I found out that I would be losing my job in May of 2016, which was devastating, seriously devastating. I had been there for 4 years and I wasn't planning on leaving anytime soon, but it definitely makes you think about what you want out of life when a bombshell like that is thrown onto you. So I started thinking what I wanted to do for work, and then I got angry because we had signed our 2-year lease like 2 miles away from where my job was located so that I didn't have to commute. So now we had this 2-year lease that I was already starting to kind of regret because of all of these travel bloggers I had been finding and envying for months. But now we were stuck there, and really no reason to be there because I was losing my job. So the silver lining in this whole thing was that it started to seem more possible that we could actually start traveling full time. Dan was already working from home and I was going to be unemployed. So I could just apply to jobs that would let me work remotely. So we started thinking again about the RV living and the house sitting options. And we ultimately decided that for us, house sitting was going to be the best way to travel since it's free. Like, all we had to pay for was gas to get here, and we could still go out and explore the different towns. We could choose the length of the house sits that we wanted. We just really, really liked the idea more and more that we thought about it. So when we landed our first house sit in Durango, we reached out to our landlords and decided we wanted to pursue paying a penalty to end our lease early. So now that we're off the hook for rent, we're not paying rent, we don't have a mortgage, we're not paying utilities, so all of that money can go towards savings, exploring the area, and also paying down those student loans that we so desperately want to get rid of. I guess the long story short of why we decided to do house sitting was 3 things: to travel more, and I think it's a really good way to travel because when you're doing longer term house sits, you're able to really explore the area and dig into the culture and experience what life would be like living somewhere else. Secondly, have this once in a lifetime experience, something that we never thought of. We never discussed this before we got married. It's just something we stumbled upon and really, really, really wanted to do. So being able to pursue our dreams is a huge, huge benefit to this. Lastly, I think the ability to save some money, to save up for that down payment and to pay off the student loans like I mentioned before. So that's all for today. If you think house sitting might be something for you, or if you want to follow us on our house sitting journey, hit subscribe, like the video, and we'll take you along with us.